Latino wearing hoops is Jennifer Lopez.
For decades, comedy festivals in San Antonio have been the platform and launchpad for talented Latino comedians.
If you go back to 1996, the very first festival we did in San Antonio was called the Latino Laugh Festival. I actually have a great email somewhere from a guy named Gabriel Iglesias. Said, Mr. Valdez, thank you so much for getting me on TV for my first time. I really appreciate it. It was the first time George Lopez and Carlos Mencia had ever been on stage together. So you never know who's going to break out of the festival. I can kind of predict because you can see a comic and go, yeah, she's going to make it, he's going to make it.
Jeff Valdez is one of the executive producers behind the festival. He tells me why San Antonio is the perfect stage for the Ha Comedy Festival, which will be available to stream on HBO MAX.
San Antonio is just such a reflection of America. It really does reflect what America looks like, and quite frankly, something that probably a lot of people are afraid of what America is becoming, but don't need to be. Right? Because it's really, it's a wonderful city. It's full of art. I remember the first time I went down there and was just like, wow, there's art everywhere. And that's why we call the show The Art of Comedy.
Predominantly Latino comedians will front the stage, including Danny Trejo, Paul Rodriguez, Paulina Chavez, and others. But Jeff tells me this comedy is relatable for everybody, and many big names jump-started their careers at these comedy festivals.
And speaking of, let's talk a little bit more about your relationship now with Gabriel Iglesias, and how has that been since when you saw him, and being able to tell how great and how talented he was?
You know what? The first time we saw him, we just said, this kid's really, really great. We need to put him on the festival. And then he just, actually he met his first manager, Pat Buckles, who books our show still. I'm super proud of him, and he's gone on to, do a lot of great things. And like I said, even George Lopez, he didn't get his start there, but it was his early days where he really was relatively unknown. And there's a lot of great stories that came out of that original festival. Daisy Fuentes was there, Cheech Marin, Geraldo Rivera.
One of the highlights of the festival is meeting the cast of the Nickelodeon hit show, The Brothers Garcia. Valdez is the creator of the show, which is being rebooted as The Garcias. That too will stream on HBO Max.
Last year at the festival, we had 46 comics at the festival. And then we just shot 10 new episodes of the Brothers Garcia reboot called The Garcias. And we had 5 of those 46 comics make their acting debuts in the Garcia series. And Paul Rodriguez also showed up and did a cameo.
According to Valdez, Hollywood has a 2% Latino inclusion rate. Yet his company, New Cadence Productions, which is behind the Ha Comedy Festival, has 92% Latino rate of inclusion, something he is very proud of.
So it's important to have a platform because we've been excluded. We want to have a voice. We want to hear the multitude of voices. That's the other thing about the festival. It's a festival of every Latino voice.